Good afternoon, Mr. Trump. It's Joe Exotic again, and this is day 16 of the video messages I've sent out to you to see if we can make some sense of what the hell's going on in this country. First thing is where in the hell did the politicians think that taking away saying the Pledge of Allegiance and prayer in school is something bad for this country? I don't know what went wrong, but when you start stripping people of having to have morals and respect for not only the country but for each other, we're headed nowhere. You have to agree that when we were kids, we got sent to school and we had some respect for the American flag and for God. And these people all moving over here to our country and filing lawsuits and everything else to clean up our act and get rid of what we believed in for the last couple hundred years is exactly what's wrong with this country today. Now I know every time that you pick up a newspaper or you turn on the television set, everybody's bitching about the unemployment rate. Let me tell you something. I know a whole lot of business people in America today, and nobody can find any help worth a shit. And let me tell you why. It's because every month, at the end of the month or the first of the month, you pass out all these checks for people not to work. It's time to start cleaning this country up just a little bit. I know nothing about politics, and by God, I wouldn't want to be the president of the country, but I can damn sure tell you from just a business perspective of what's going on in this country, y'all have made everybody lazy. And I'm not saying y'all as in Mr. Trump, I'm saying y'all as the politicians. People don't have to work, they have no respect for anybody, and there's damn sure no common sense being used in the workplace today. Okay, so there's some really easy steps to get this country back on track. 1, put the prayer back in school. 2, put the American Legion back in school. 3, quit handing out free food to everybody that don't want to work and make these bastards get off their ass and get a job for a change. And last but not least, what is with these 501c3 organizations taking people's money away, making them think that they're helping animals or even feeding the children across America? I'm going to show you 2 people right now, Carol Baskin, along with Howard Baskin, that take in donations from all people from around the world. And instead of it going to the cause that their 501c3 status says it's supposed to go to, they're paying off politicians. Is this what we want our country to come to? Money, power, over ethics, and what people really respect in this country? We're not going to hand any one of you presidential candidates a damn dime in order to get you to listen to us. We're going to go the old-fashioned way, and we're going to put messages out worldwide until one of you sit down and listen to us. There are seriously real concerns about people's personal property being taken away and everything else here in America, all because of why? Lobbyists and politicians taking money from special interest groups such as Big Cat Rescue, the Humane Society of the United States, PETA, Tippi Hedren, Born Free. The list goes on. It's time they either use the money for what they're supposed to be using it for and soliciting it from people all across America that are donating this money for a special reason, or they need their 501c3 status stripped away and make them get out there and work on their own for a living instead of using a 501c3 status to pocket money and push their agendas and live high off the hog, while the animals are living down there in rusty, filthy cages, being skinned and put in a museum for further display options. I'm Joe Exotic, and here's the 6 questions that I've been asking you for the last 15 days, ladies and gentlemen, and I expect somebody to have a sit-down meeting with us, and I'd really like it to be Mr. Trump. But if any of you other presidential candidates want to beat him to the ball, I got a whole lot of people that'll vote for you. But this is our 6 questions. Hello, Mr. Trump. This video message is for you. You probably don't know me. I'm just from a little town in Wynnewood, Oklahoma. But my name's Joe Exotic, and I host a TV show called Joe Exotic TV, and I'm the entertainment director for the world's largest facility for tigers and lions, housing over 187 tigers. I listened to your speech while you were at the State Fair in Oklahoma City, and I must say, I was quite impressed. And you were right about one thing, and that is we Americans lose on everything that we do. And we've got a couple questions for you. I personally haven't voted in over 20 years, because it seems like the American people don't have a say-so. So we're putting our blessings and our power behind you. One, because we like you, because you're not politically correct. And that's what this country needs, to shake it up just a little bit. Two, you have your own money and you don't need the money from lobbyists pushing laws across your desk in order to get their agendas passed. But here in America, we have a war in the animal world and the animal rights people in order to take our rights away. And 62.8 million people here in America own pets, and we'd like to know your comments and your concerns about a few issues. Question number one, how do you feel about 501c3 organizations here in America that are scamming the public for hundreds of millions of dollars to take care of animals, and none of it goes to the animals? 90% of it goes to lobbyists to pass laws to further their agenda. Two, it seems like terrorist is the number one topic anytime you turn the news on anymore. Are you aware that our own government, the United States Department of Agriculture, declared PETA a number one domestic terrorist in the United States on November the 30th, 2009, and they're still a nonprofit tax organization here in America? How can you be a terrorist and get a tax break from your own country right here in America? Three, we'd like to know your opinion on how you feel on online bullying, not only of children, but adults, in the name of free speech, in order to bash somebody and ruin their reputation and their good name, only to make money for yourself and get away with it under the Declaration of Free Speech. Four, we'd like to know, how come us Americans that own our own property, own our own houses, and pay taxes on them do not have the right to have our own pets that we choose to have on our property or in our homes? Number five, do you not think that we Americans have the right to assume the risk of our profession, no different than a cop, a firefighter, an oil rig worker, or anyone else that has the assumption of the risk of their professions? It is our right. And please, if you become president, give us back our right. And number six, one of the most important, and this kind of touched on your speech at the Oklahoma State Fair about things being made in other countries and taxing them when they come into America. Do you not believe that it should be a right that any product made from the rainforest or an animal's habitat somewhere in the world should be taxed in order to be sold in America, and that tax money go back to helping rebuild the habitat and the rainforest so some of these animals don't become extinct in the futures to come? I'm Joe Exotic, and along with 62.8 million other people, we'd like to know if you have any answers for any of this. And you wouldn't believe the support you would get. But this war on American citizens and their animals has got to come to a stop. Well, let's talk about hypocrisy and bullshit that's going on here. People wanting to pass this law called the Big Cat Safety Act. The only people you got sponsoring this bill and pushing this bill, people like Tippi Hedren. How many birds did she kill making that movie, The Birds? How many animals did she show off in order to pocket the money of her sanctuary down there to make her rich? No different than Carol Baskin down there at Big Cat Rescue. You see, back in the 90s and the early 2000s, they had cabins with big cats you could sleep with. They sold big cats, they bred big cats, and these people have all done everything they need to do to make their millions. Now that they got their millions tucked away in a bank somewhere, they want to take our rights away from us and have the corner of the market to do all this shit. If you take a real hard look at these donor receipts of where all this money's going, all of this is being bought off, paid for through donations to campaign funds and promises being made that if you pass this law, we'll give you so much money for your campaign fund. That's all bullshit. Nothing should be done for the interest groups of money. It should all be done, whether it's right or wrong, ethically moral or ethically not moral. But the hypocrisy behind a couple of these people pushing some of these laws is just astonishing. To even think that they can get away with paying politicians in order to get a vote to pass a law that's only their agenda. So we're asking every one of you presidential candidates, put a stop to all this donating 501c3 money in lobbyist pockets and in your pocket. Let's pass the laws according to the American people and what the hell we want. If this would all go up to a public vote, you'd see what the American people want, and that is we want our animals. Okay, well, that's our end of the video message number 16 today. I'll see you tomorrow for number 17, and let's see if we can possibly get some kind of answers or figure out what the hell's going on in this world in order to take our rights away for us to be able to have our animals. I'm Joe Exotic, and I'll see America tomorrow for video message number 17.